Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Like I said, my name is Doreen Appiah and the staff of Appiah. With me, this presentation is being done by myself together with Dr. Nkem Osuigwe, who is the Director of Human Capacity and Training, and Stanley Boakye-Achampong, the Research Coordinator of Appiah. I am the Program Officer for Appiah. One may ask why this robust authority control for African libraries. We at the Appiah is the Continental Library Association for Africa here. And so our business is to ensure that libraries in Africa are doing well. First of all, librarians, we build their capacity. We help them develop their library to a level where the library as an institution will be a force to reckon with. Because if you are in a part of Africa where most people don't like reading and they don't even see the essence of libraries, because some, quote and unquote, feels that the library is for the rich, you will understand where we are coming from. And so we believe that as much as we can, we should do everything to involve even the person in the village who doesn't understand what library is, by trying to also building the capacity of the librarians to be able to also serve their communities. So that is the background of what we do at Appiah. So the table of contents for our presentation today, we look at the background, the gap, and then the case study we have used, and we look at the challenges, our next steps, and then our conclusions. So from the background, like I said, Appiah's investigation and observation revealed that African national libraries mandated as national depositories and producers of national bibliographies hold and generate large volumes of data and information about African cultural heritage. If you go to our national libraries, you realize that there are a lot of information. They hold a lot of data about Africans and about our cultural heritage, about so many things we do. But then all these things are kept within our systems. And most of these are maintained in a partial or legacy bibliographies, often in static forms. Sometimes you go there, you realize that they are in PDFs, offline in MAC records. Sometimes they are even on still on the catalog cards. And then as we discovered this, we decided that what would that be? We realized from our various activities on Wikipedia that most or some of these articles, especially of articles written or information about Ghanaians, Nigerians, and Kenyans, have been linked to databases and repositories and in other libraries or outside the continent. Some of this information are linked to other countries or in other libraries outside the continent. And that we decided that to bring all these things together, we need to have something done, something that will direct the individual, wherever they are, to the source or to the particular country of the author of that information. And that is why we decided that with a few digital presence and openly accessible authority files that are available, we can link them to other databases. And so we plan to do a proper interrogation and see, if possible, use Wikibase instance that will serve as a semantic authority control to bring all these things together. And Appiah, based on this, after all our investigations and various meetings, we decided to reach out to Wikipedia to apply for the Knowledge Equity Fund, and decided to address these disparities that we have seen. So what was the gap? The main gap we realized was that African scholarly and creators' work, even if available within the global authority framework, are linked to non-African national name authority database. And then we also realized that Wikidata entries for African scholars, authors, or institutions often lack national authority IDs, example from our national libraries. And so we need to link to a structured, it also lacked the link to structured bibliographic data. And then these ambiguities from all other sources must come together. So this was the gaps we identified. Now, the decision was to use national libraries after we looked at all these things. Why do we want to use national libraries? Because they have the access, they are the access points to a nation's published works and intellectual output. Because most national libraries, if I may say most, or let me say all, are legal depository for government, where every document or anything written by the nationals must, a copy must be sent to the National Library for safekeeping. And then they preserve, or they serve as a central repository of a nation's literary, cultural, and historical heritage. National libraries also hold the national heritage and resources there. They safeguard it for future generations. And then national libraries also contain information from authentic sources and are well preserved. These are some of the reasons why we chose to use national libraries and not any other library. Now, after we selected national libraries, we zoomed in, or we narrowed into one library, which is the National Library of Nigeria. And Appiah decided that we will use their local authors of held in the National Library to develop the National Library of Nigeria Semantic Name Authority Repository as a model for developing semantic authority files on Wikibase for national libraries in Africa. So this was the reason why we chose the National Library of Nigeria. Again, the team decided to use the National Library of Nigeria because the library has a comprehensive collection of local authors enabled by the legal deposit, like I said earlier on. National libraries will be able to normalize its data. The National Library of Nigeria have a lot of professionals there, and with being able to do that, when we link them to database, to the Wikibase control number from its digital catalog, they already have the digital catalog there. They have the OPAC there. So it will be easy to link them. And then after doing this, Wikibrillians around Africa will get a model and documentation about how they can set up the authority control, harnessing the power of open data in Wikidata and Wikibase. And finally, the National Librarian of Nigeria was also willing to use, or to allow us to use, their database as a model for African libraries. And that was something very important that Appiah had to look out for. We also realized that over 1,220 Nigerians are in National Library Authority controls around the world. Example, Wole Soyinka, who is well known in Africa and beyond Africa, has 23, was seen in 23 different National Library Authority controls. We also realized that Wikipedia and Wikidata editors, or librarians over the world, will gain a clearer view of the works of Nigerian authors, and then the National Library of Nigeria will be the go-to place to explore and find data about Nigerian personalities. This is an example of what I was talking about. You realize that Nigeria alone, we found 539 Nigerian personalities in National Library of Germany, with enriched data, metadata from different authority controls via the API. And so we decided to use Nigeria as a model. Now, how to start became a problem. Fine, we have agreed on, but we realized that there are so many things we need to do at the background in order for the staff or the selected team to be able to be on the same level with us. And so we started with them by, first of all, training them. We trained them, we asked them to retrieve or extract over 5,000 of their metadata on people, on their authors, so that we can see how clear it is. We need to clean the data and then make it ready for use. We also realized that there was the need for a naming convention to be standardized. And so we took them through that. And that's the example I've given. Which one do they want to use? For instance, should the surname be all caps, or it should be like this, or it should be like that, maybe full or Appiah Doreen? How do they want it? We wanted also to do something to conform with international standards. And then again, we took them through Wikidata and linked data, and we also trained them on Wikibase. Please, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Thank you. Excuse me for that. So the two teams, that's the Appiah team and then the NLN team, developed the standardized naming convention, like I said earlier on. And then, please excuse me, let me turn this thing off because people will disturb. Okay. So the project prepared everything, and like I have said earlier on, then Nigerian National Library team extracted over 5,000 database from their authors. Jesus Christ. Can't you understand? I'm busy. A minute, please. Let me turn this thing off. Better? Okay. They extracted, and then everything was clean data. We edited some, we removed the duplicates, ensured that spelling consistency was standardized, and then we identified relevant data fields in the National Library records, for example, name of the author, title, etc., so that we put everything in a consistent format for them to use. Now, we decided to train our NLN people on Wikidata, and we started the training on linked data. Some of the topics we took them through includes how to create items for authors not existing already on Wikidata. Like I said, some of the authors were already on Wikidata. A lot of them actually were on Wikidata because some of the Nigerian Wikipedians have been able to capture them on Wikidata. And then we taught them how to query Wikidata, how to edit statements in Wikidata, and how to link the resources on Wikidata to Wikibase. And then they learned how to find identifiers for the authors as well. Yeah. Now, the question was, why linked data training? Because they needed to understand the importance of Wikidata. We all know that Wikidata is linked. And so without understanding, first of all, where or what linked data is, it will be difficult for them to understand Wikidata. So we took them through that. We also took them through how to connect both related diverse data sets from various sources on the web, so machine can automatically understand and utilize it. It was one of the reasons why we took them through the linked data. And we also allow for the linked data also allows for seamless navigation and integration of information, and promote open access structured data, and enable easy sharing and collaboration among researchers. So these are some of the reasons why we took them through the linked data training. And then again, we brought them to Wikidata to explain so many things. The question again is why Wikidata is a good place to start. We felt that we cannot go beyond Wikidata or use any other platform to train them. And the reasons again are Wikidata is an open source data repository. It is structured and a link repository. Wikidata is a machine readable. It pulls the information from different linked sources. It has a multilingual language based that enhances data accessibility, because if we understand Nigeria very well, they have over 500 or 400 languages, which is very huge. So someone may want to add other languages onto their names or the meaning of other things to their names. So that is why we felt that Wikidata was very, very, very important for us to use. And then again, Wikidata has interoperability and collaboration across various fields and platforms was possible. Now the model. So the team, that is the Appiah team, defined the data model in Wikibase, and we created our Wikibase instance with the address here. We also established a building block for the instances, that is the properties and corresponding values. We created properties and reflect the authority control needs. For example, sex or gender, date of birth, and all these country of citizenship, external identifiers. We aim to maintain the properties and items for all the national libraries in Africa to ensure uniformity and sustainability. And so it was important that Nigeria being the model, we get it right, so that when we are replicating it in other countries, we may not have to be thinking about what to do, the kind of properties we should develop or select for them. So these are the examples. For instance, we have the P1 as a reference URL. You can have the P14 as ORCID number. Then you can have the P2 as sex or gender. You can have P3 as given name or former name or whatever. So these are the examples of some of the properties we created for the NLN. The team also configured the Wikibase cloud instances and created accounts for editors. We had as many as 20 staff from Nigeria who were part of this team because they have a big database of authors. Nigerians can write, they can really write. So they have a big database of authors, and so they needed to have a lot of people in there to be part of the project. And then we map or link key properties to corresponding Wikidata entities. Example, instance of formatter URL and all these things were marked. And then we also choose Wikibase Cloud, the color and all those things together with them, because we wanted to do something that they will also be happy and be willing to do it even when Appiah leaves it totally for them. Now, as a model, the project team started to populate the Wikibase Cloud instance in batches. And so we use the quick statement to upload reconciled and clean entries in bulk. And then the team also requested for external identifiers on Wikidata and prepared a property proposal on that and submitted it. Finally, we were able to, the proposal was approved, and this is the ID for the NLNs now, that is P13699. So the National Library of Nigeria's now have this ID. So what are some of the challenges we face? A few challenges include lack of adequate digital skills. Some people were born before computers, and even those who were born in the computer era, some of them do not have, for instance, the editing skills of Wikidata. They cannot edit Wikidata. They don't even know how to go about it. So these were all challenges. We also face one challenge, a big challenge that is in Africa. It cuts across Africa, and that is unstable electricity and internet connectivity. Some of the perceived challenges we foresee are the absence of digital library collections, because there are some countries with national libraries who do not have a digital collection. Almost all their collections have not been digitized, and so they have it still in a manual form. And like I said, they don't have the digital catalog. We have unprofessional librarians in there, especially in the management level, without proper understanding of the 21st century live information systems. All these are some of the challenges we foresee. But since we have decided to do it, we will surely be up to task and see how best we can address that. So in conclusion, the Appiah team has been able to obtain a Wikidata ID for the National Library of Nigeria system NLNs now. We have been able to link the NLN OPAC to Wikibase. We have also increased the capacity of librarians to perform optimally in Wikidata in Nigeria through the continuous training on Wikidata and Open Refined. I can assure you that the team of Nigerians, the NLN team, we finally selected about 10 of them, and we took them through extra training. So this group of people, they are very good. They are good because when it comes to their SNAR, the Wikidata, how to edit, link them, and all those things, they are doing very well. We are still we still not leaving them completely because we are still in training with them. Anytime they face challenges, they come back. And then we have developed a 5-module course on Wikibase. A 5-module course on Wikibase that we will use to train all other national library staff who are willing and are ready. And the modules include link open data and libraries, semantic web and libraries, Wikidata as an example of linked open data repository, connecting authority control files to Wikibase, and the final one is doing it for real. So what is the way forward? Our next steps. Our next steps is that Appiah is working towards replicating this using 2 models. One, the NLN SNAR framework for libraries that have online catalogs. We want to look at that. And then a Wikibase instance for African national libraries without online catalog. Appiah is considering using the Wikibase to create online catalogs or national bibliographies from which authority names can be teased out. Appiah we have started working with the Gambia National Library on this. And we realize they have a few challenges for which we are still looking at. For the 2 models, we aim to maintain standardized vocabularies and properties for uniformity and linking. Now, beyond this, we have also observed the lack of recorded community history in most African national libraries. We have started a pilot project on this by doing the following: getting the permission from a community head in Nigeria to use this village. We chose Nigeria because we have trained the NLN staff. Going through the archival records, including old newspapers and magazines, to find out more about the chosen community, and then identifying the family trees or lines in the village to be able to create a relationship. We aim to use Wikibase to empower African national libraries to not just create semantic authority files, but also datarize their local history. That is a work in progress. So thank you very much for your attention and your time. Thank you.